right, the last animation was about my bone rig, the basic rig itself, which has changed a little bit. The main change between it and the older rigs is that I now have these target bones for the feet. But now I'm going to talk about parenting and unparenting. As it stands now, my rig, all the bones are parented to this root bone. You can say, move the root bone around and they all move. And that's good. There's times in which having all your bones parented to one bone is really convenient. For example, you can position your character in the scene without having to move the layer. You can do things like ice skate. So the guy's ice skating, or he could fall off a building and suddenly go, I'm falling. And it's a lot easier to do that sort of thing than trying to if I wasn't parented and in these I'd have to move the feet separately, and so it's easy to do that sort of thing. Or it could be flying, make it or diving, jumping, whatever. Anyway, there's a lot of reasons why parenting to one particular bone is a good thing. However, there's also times when it isn't. And what are those times when it isn't? Well, I'm going to show you. If I'm going to go here, first thing I want to do is I'm going to unparent these bones. And now the bones are all still share this root bone except for the targets. The targets are unparented. And what does that mean exactly? Well, it means that they're going to stay planted firmly on the ground, the feet firmly on the ground. So even if I move this, you'll see the targets don't move. Now, obviously, you can move it to beyond the point at which the targets go, but for the purposes of the target, and those of you that have squash and turn on squash and scale, you'll know that the bones can stretch if you move them too far if you want to. But in any case, when you have them, the targets unparented, then they stay firmly in place. And this is really good for walk cycles, as we're going to see later on. It's easy to create a walk cycle by simply planting the foot, and then you can kind of position the body into a particular manner to where it has some movement, and it's easy to keep it all on the ground. In the old days, we used to have to do that with locking the bones. So you would lock the bone on the ground and move it, but now Mike has provided us with these great targets, and there's no reason not to take advantage of them. So that's a good advantage as to why you would want to have your bones unparented, or at least the targets unparented to that particular root, and everything else parented to it. So there's the two cases, parenting and unparenting. In this particular case, as you'll notice, it says unparented. These are unparented, and when I move this, that means that the targets don't move with it. And then if I parent them, then if I move the root, so now it says parented, and now the targets move with the parent. So there's those two cases. I happen to like using both on the timeline, and as you can see from here, I can use both. And now we're going to get into exactly how I can use both by looking at the tools that I use to do that.